What's the tea? Welcome everyone to Trust and Trade, your weekly glimpse into hot topics in the world of antitrust and consumer protection.
Hello everybody, welcome to the short podcast series sponsored by the Economics Committee, where we hope to give you the highlights of our latest programming. Your host today is Gabriela Antonie, and joining us is Amara Conteh. Amara is an antitrust associate at Wilson Sonsini, Goodrich, and Rosati in Washington, D.C., where she focuses on a variety of antitrust matters, including civil and criminal litigation, merger reviews, and government investigations. Thank you for joining us, Amara.
Of course. Thank you for having me, Gabriela. I'm happy to be here.
So this past February, you reported on a panel discussion hosted by the ABA Antitrust Law Section on attorney-economist communications and how to enhance efficiency in the relationship between attorneys and economists.
Yep, that's right.
Awesome. So before we start our discussion about attorney-economist communications, can you talk a bit about their relationship in the antitrust context and why attorneys and economists need to work together?
Yeah, of course. So antitrust attorneys often need to work closely with economist teams in antitrust litigations and merger reviews. Economists serve as expert witnesses in antitrust litigations, often helping attorneys to define product and geographic markets. And then in the merger review context, economists analyze data and propose market parameters that are often included in advocacy pieces, such as white papers presented to the reviewing antitrust agencies.
And thank you so much for that background. And what were the professional backgrounds of the panelists?
Yeah, so the panel was moderated by Claire Shee, the Associate Director at Amara Economic Consulting. And panelists included Maria Stoyanova, Senior Vice President of Compass Lexicon, Konstantin Medvedovsky, an Associate at Deckert, and Megan Granger, a partner at Weil Gotshal. So the panelists included one economist and two attorneys. So including both economists and attorneys in the panel really made for an interesting and productive discussion.
Very nice. And what types of communication challenges did the attorneys and economists discuss?
So the attorneys on the panel noted that they sometimes face challenges in obtaining easily digestible and actionable solutions from economists. And this is because economists tend to be very careful and hesitant to represent anything that isn't 100% accurate. And so the attorney panelists agreed that economists should avoid letting the quote unquote perfect be the enemy of the good and provide the best possible data, even when it isn't perfect. And then Maria, the economist on the panel, described the difficulties that economists face when conveying timelines and complex, convoluted data sets to attorneys. She urged lawyers to advocate for including economists as early as possible on their matters to avoid situations where economists have to play catch up on the data work.
I certainly identify with some of that. Did the panelists share any positive experiences they had with attorneys and economist colleagues?
Yeah, actually, Maria, the economist on the panel, noted that economists face tension when providing interim reports to attorneys because they're concerned that things will change between the time of the interim reporting and the audit report. She mentioned that when she can share high-level key takeaways in the interim reports instead of specific numbers, it helps to alleviate some of this tension. And then attorneys on the panel agreed that their engagements with economists were most successful when the economists proposed a menu of several solutions as opposed to a single solution, because it helps the attorney team to present several actionable solutions to their client. Also, when it comes to budgeting, the attorneys on the panel noted that budgeting works best when economists get creative and explore alternative fee arrangements. For example, offering project-based fees on white papers.
Very interesting. It's great to hear some of the ways in which attorneys and economists work well together and some of the challenges that we all face. And did the panelists suggest any tips or recommendations to improve the working relationship?
Yeah, so ultimately, both the economist and attorney panelists agreed that frequent conversations about expectations is the key to effective collaboration. The attorneys on the panel noted that when economists don't have an immediate solution to a request, it's helpful if they let the attorney know what additional information they need to scope out a solution. And Maria encouraged attorneys to provide a direct client contact to their economist teams when possible. And this will help the economist teams to ensure they have all the data they need to scope out a solution. And then ultimately, both the economists and attorneys agreed on the role of junior attorneys and economists in escalating roadblocks as soon as possible when things seem to be deviating from plan.
Thank you so much for sharing, Amara. It's helpful to understand some of the roadblocks that attorneys and economists faced when collaborating and to hear recommendations for improvement from both. Thank you, everybody, for joining us today. A reminder that the audio and Amara's write-up is available on the ABA website, and we will post a link in the podcast notes. We hope to see you all next time. Thanks again.
Yep, no problem.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of Trust in Trade, brought to you as always by the Antitrust Law Section of the American Bar Association. Now you know that's the T.